And you don't have to give all your secrets because you are still a coach. You know, people take notes like that's what he do.
Right.
But give like a broader view of how should a coach prepare their practices leading into a game.
Yeah. Once you establish how you're going to play, the style of play, you establish, okay, what we want our identity to be. Now your practices should be segments of that. So when I'm talking about skill work, I'm not saying you just go out and just do any random drills. No, I'm going to do skill work that's helping build towards my offense.
Gotcha.
You know, so if my offense is based upon straight line drives, I'm doing ball handling drills early that are primarily working on straight line drives. And it's ball handling and the things that'll happen in those instances. I'm taking what big picture offense is going to look like, what I want it to look like ultimately, and I'm going to break it down into segments. I'm going to break it down into a ball handling drill that looks like what they're going to experience when we put together our offense. Our shooting drills are going to be shots that they should shoot within our offense.
Nice.
So it's really just taking your offense and then breaking it down into segments, and then the same thing with your defense.
Right.
You know, several years ago when I was with the girls, I had a group that wasn't as athletic as some of my other teams, but we still wanted to be able to apply pressure. You know, so we implemented this offense or this defense called the lock left defense, and nothing crazy, but really we just forced everybody left.
Okay,
we would not let you drive right, and of course 90% of players are right-handed. You know, so you're making everybody utilize their weakness. What we perceive to be their weakness. So everything we did in our defensive breakdowns was all about implementing that defense.
Nice.
So we didn't that year, we didn't do the typical zigzag defensive drill. You know, zigzag. Traditional zigzag. No, that we had to take that out of our plan because we didn't want them doing that.
Right.
Yeah.
So
nice.
We took that out because that wasn't the movement that they would be doing because we're not letting you go right. So everything is forcing you left. So those are the kind of things that you got to think about in your practices is breaking down your offense and your defense in a way to where now it's in small segments, small side. And
championship
state championship. Right, I mean,
man, this type
of coaching. I didn't think of that on my own. I've had some really good coaches that I've sat under. That I've watched, that I've learned from.
But that's the key, though. You know, because I think what makes you a good coach is the fact that you learn from people and you found a way to apply it in a certain way. I think people get it misconstrued on, okay, for me to be smart or know something, it has to originate with me.
No.
You have to be able to extract the right information and then apply it to what you want to apply it to. So I think you got to give yourself credit for that because the one thing I don't see as many, and we'll dive into this, but I don't see as many coaches really being innovative and or thinking outside the box or applying information that they learn and then crafting it to fit like their personnel. It's like, okay, I've learned how to do this offense, and no matter who I have on my team,
they're gonna fit. We're gonna plug and play.
Yeah,
we're gonna plug and play.
Post offense, and all your players are like 5 foot. You have no post player. But you got 2 people on the block trying to get to the ball. Like, what are you doing? So
and you know that's something that when coaches are thrown into situations, and sometimes they are thrown into situations that they didn't ask for, you know, and sometimes that's what you get, you know, but always, you know, I've been blessed to be able to be in some situations, to be able to watch and sit under some people who have always done it the right way.
Gotcha.
Okay.